Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you music and Torah blessing and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. That's almost 5.5 years of Torah every single weekday morning, just to say good morning to each other. Good morning, Bensi. It's good to see you. Hi, Arlene, Pete, Michael, Jennifer, Susie, it's good to see you. Hi, Tara. Welcome, Boker Tov. Rosa, Hineni, me too. It's good to see you. Kate, I hope that you are well. Debbie, nice to see you. Thank you for always adding such sweet feelings and thoughts in your comments. Linda and Cecile and Linda and Minna, Boker Tov. It's good to see all of you. Good morning, friends. Stan, sending love all the way down the block here in Westchester. Jack and Joyce, Lydia, Boker Tov, Barry, Peter, Kim, Marcia, and Jerry. It's good to see all of you. Hope that all of you are safe and well. Let's say hi to one or two more people, and then we'll sing a bracha, learn some Torah today. Here we go. Barbara and David, good to see you. Hi, Michelle. Okay, let's take a breath. Really, let's take a breath. Sing a bracha. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see all of you here. Hi, Ima. Nice to see you. Friends, my mom is here. Give her some love. We are on broadcast 1346. Penny, thank you for that. It is day 649 since October 7th. There's a lot to talk about. I want to jump right into the Parsha today. Parshat Pinchas contains a moment that should inform, and doesn't always, the way communities and nations and groups function. There is a power to this, to knowing that any leader is just taking their turn. In fact, that's how it's supposed to be. And so when Moshe, who by this point in the Torah knows that he is not going to enter the promised land, he will not be the one to lead the people to the final destination. He knows it already. In fact, Rabbi Harold Kushner, Zichrono Livracha, has a book on Moshe called Getting Used to Life's Disappointments. Because after all, if we are to learn anything from Moshe, it's how to live life with grace and purpose, knowing that it isn't forever, and that some of the most important missions that we feel called to respond to, we won't be able to bring to its final destination. Moshe's concern at that point is to find a leader. And so he turns to God. And in this week's Parsha, he says, this is chapter 27, verses 16 and 17, the book of Bamidbar, the book of Numbers. The Hebrew is, Yifkod Adonai Elohei haruchot lechol basar ish al ha'ida. Let God, source of breath of all flesh, appoint someone over the community. So that's without definition. That's as if you put out a job listing with no explanation of what you're looking for. What comes next is what Moshe believes the quality of a leader should be. So listen to this language. Asher yetzei lifnehem v'asher yavo lifnehem, who goes out before them and returns before them. Asher yotziem, asher yiviem, who shall take them out and bring them in. V'lo tiyeh adat Adonai katzon asher ein lahem ro'eh, so that God's community won't be like a people, like sheep that have no shepherd. It's important to have a leader so that communities don't wander or experience aimlessness, chaos. But listen closely, and with this comment, I'm channeling some wisdom from Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Zichrono Livracha, the great teacher of so many of ours, incomparable in so many ways. He looks at the specific phrasing of this and says, so the leader, who we know will be Joshua, should go out before them and come in before them. A leader needs to walk in front of the people, showing the way. According to Rabbi Sachs, that means you have to have vision. You have to know where you're leading people. But it is also important to not lead so far ahead that you lose the people. Imagine the metaphor of a flock of sheep where the shepherd goes too far ahead for the sheep to be able to follow. That's not helpful. And a leader whose vision takes them far away, promises things that are impossible, or moves towards a vision of the world that the people are not yet ready for, and it leads to chaos. We've seen that in countless instances around the world in geopolitics, in synagogues, and I'm sure churches and mosques, when a leader tries to move too far from where the community already is, or at a pace that people cannot follow, it doesn't work. And so listen to the entirety of the verse. Yes, the leader has to go out before them and come in before them. You have to lead by standing in front, but who shall take them out and bring them in? There's a way that a leader must act to bring people along with her, along with him. Because if you move too fast, you're all alone, and so are the people you are called to serve. Moshe knows the danger of this because he's been leading us for so long, and we don't move very fast, and we don't move very willingly, and some things haven't changed about the Jewish community. It is really important for us to think about it in this way, and I see the question that Linda is asking, do rabbis feel this way? Yes. Yes. So she writes, how do you know when your mission has been completed? First of all, I don't think anyone ever does know when their mission is completed. There's a famous line in a musical that my family loves, Rothschilds, where Baron Meyer Rothschild, the founder of this family's dynasty that changed the world, the Jewish world, and many philanthropic sectors, plays an amazing one. It didn't really make it on Broadway, but we love it. He says toward the end of his life, the character sings, this Moses wants to see the promised land. So how do you know when your mission has been completed? Let me answer with the little wisdom that my years have afforded me, because ultimately that's a question for anyone much later in their life. But what I believe is that a mission worth pursuing won't be completed in one lifetime. The big gift, and I hope rabbis feel this, I hope any leader really feels this, I hope that parents feel this, teachers feel this. Any mission worth pursuing is one that is much bigger than any of us. And so what makes not a feeling of completion, what makes a feeling of worth? When I remember that I'm only on this point in our trajectory because of those who got me this far, who helped me learn, either by example or by explicit instruction. I didn't do this by myself, and Torah, even though I'm a teacher of it now, there will be teachers after me, and there are teachers now who are not me, and Torah is bigger than any one of our takes. If I'm so convinced, and obviously this is not how I feel, and I hope it's not how any of us feels, but if I'm so convinced that my mission, I mean that in a very personal way, my mission, I need to see to its completion, then it's a pretty small mission. My big goal as a rabbi, as a father, as a person, is to support the ongoing mission of our people and of the world. It's very interesting. I was just learning with a group of dads last night. UJA convened a group of dads on Long Island, really special group. And we were talking about how to feel secure as a parent. For those of us who are parents, you know that we should be laughing when we say such a thing, how to feel secure as a parent. But ultimately, we can't change the world around us permanently in a way that we wish we could for those who depend on us. We don't have that much power, but we do have the ability to respond. How will we respond? So here's what I want to offer back from the Parsha, away from the example of me. Let God, source of the breath of all flesh, appoint someone over the community. Notice how Moshe is looking for his own successor. He knows that the greatest wisdom for a current leader is not to try to make the decision about the successor alone. Moshe turns to God and says, let the source of breath of all flesh, you know so much more than me, more than I, appoint someone over the community. God, you know what they need more than I do. That's sometimes when organizations like UJA at the moment, as our beloved Eric Goldstein has announced that he's going to be stepping down in a year, have to go through enormous processes to understand not how do we replace this person, because there is no replacing Eric. I'll be talking about this a lot this year. But it is also the case that when we are looking for a successor to a current leader, we have to look beyond the personality and maybe even skill set of that leader. Compare Moshe the lawbringer to Joshua the warrior. Every moment calls for its own kind of leader, but the truth of the second verse that I read remains no matter who's in charge, no matter what the moment is. A leader has to lead, but shouldn't move faster than the community can. A leader has to be able to hold the people and lead. And that is a dance, really hard dance. So I want to bless us just for this moment, and not just for this moment, for all moments, to remember that we are part of something much larger than the self, no matter what we do in the world. We'll never really feel 100% we've got it in any of these roles. Not if they're worthy. Not if they're holy. The demands of our time are enormous. They're complicated. Only with teams of thoughtful people, all of them infused by God's breath itself, can come close to moving us to the next step we need to reach. We will never, never reach the completion of our mission, and that's part of what makes it so holy. To quote Rabbi Mark Angel, he was once asked about his own rabbinic leadership, and he referred to Gershom Shalom's definition of a mystic. Gershom Shalom, the father of the academic study of Kabbalah, once said that a mystic is someone who has an intimation of the world as it ought to be, right? Has a vision of how things are supposed to be, and is in deep pain because the world is not there yet. The gap between how things are and how they should be. It causes a mystic pain. And they set their life toward the purpose of bringing how things are 1 inch, 1 millimeter closer to how they ought to be, knowing the entire time it'll never get there. But we get to work. Ruth Messenger, my beloved mentor, has said the same thing about human rights work. Human rights activism, says Ruth, is so holy because the problem always outpaces our response, and yet we start. The ancient rabbis said this not so differently. B'makom she'ein anashim hishtadel liot ish. In a place that is absent of humanity, where people are not acting like humans, be human. So when Moshe is looking for his successor in this parsha, he is not looking for another Moshe. In fact, the Torah says at the very end, Lo kam k'Moshe od. There will never be, there never was, there never could be another Moshe. So Moshe is not looking for another Moshe, and he doesn't ask God to find another Moshe. There's only one of you. That makes us precious and special, a universe unto ourselves. And maybe it's a good thing there's just one of us. More than one of us might be too much of a problem. A lot of movies have been based on that premise. And so the description of what a leader must have, how a leader must lead, is important for us to consider as we go into whatever our next moment might be. Be we an artist. Hi, Joe. Nice to see you, my friend. Remember, Joe Buchanan is here, everybody. You want to follow a great musician? Follow Joe. Someone who can lead in whatever their field is, in whatever their moment is, whatever their circumstance is. Someone who stands in front, but doesn't lead in such a way that they leave everyone behind. If you are blessed with vision, and I'm sure so many of us are, it is really important for us, friends, to move forward through the world, to love our community enough to figure out how to blend vision and coherence, to not pace ourselves too fast in the way that we expect the world to change. We can't give up on it. We have to lead, but we have to stand together. A leader stands within the community and in front somehow. May we be blessed with leaders like that. May we be blessed to be leaders like that. After all, Lo kam k'Moshe od. There's only one Moshe. But friends, there's only one you. So, let's make good decisions. Let's lead with vision and make sure that we are all together as we move forward to our next good step. I'll ask you, friends, to send your hearts to the east with me. It's been too long that we've been saying this, but we'll say it until we don't have to say it anymore. May that day come soon, and for all the right reasons. It's day 649 since October 7th. Send your hearts to the east with me. Kol od balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion tzofia od lo avda tikvateinu התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון Virushalayim. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends.